I gotta say, for one, let's give it up for Diego's head. Okay, because dude has a chin.
Yeah.
Like, man, he's tough as nails. Tough as nails.
Main event delivered in spectacular fashion. John Silva and Diego Lopes just put on potentially one of the best fights of the year. Of course, this one was highly anticipated. Diego Lopes never in a boring fight. John Silva undefeated in the UFC and just absolutely tearing through the division. This had all the makings of a classic fight, but let me tell you, this one delivered massively.
Misses the second one. Spinning elbow drops Gene bad. He's dropped bad. Diego's ringing on him. Diego's ringing on him at the end of round 2. Gene is sliced open bad by a spinning elbow. They're gonna step in. Round 2 TKO. Diego Lopes. There's a fucking man from out west. There's a man from out west.
Diego Lopes has delivered one of the most spectacular performances of his career at UFC Noche, finishing Gene Silva with a perfectly timed spinning elbow that had the MMA world buzzing. In a fight filled with chaos, blood, and high drama, Lopes not only handed Silva the first loss of his UFC career, but also cemented himself once again as a featherweight title contender.
I feel amazing. I work here a lot for this time, and now I finished the job.
Did the fight go the way you had predicted and imagined in your mind?
Yeah, I told you whole week is like I finished this fight. This fight is not go to the 5 rounds, you know. It's like I tell for many times, I finished this fight before 5 rounds.
Meanwhile, Gene Silva spoke out for the first time after his loss to Diego Lopes, admitting that he let emotions take over during the fight. He said he rushed in recklessly in the second round despite seeing the openings clearly. Silva acknowledged that the Fighting Nerds team had dropped 3 straight fights, suggesting they were all making the same mistakes. He confirmed that he, Caio, and Ruffy plan to regroup, analyze what went wrong, and come back stronger.
Fala raça, olha só isso aqui. Corte aqui, no olho. Bom, infelizmente ontem a emoção foi mais alta. Tava indo bem no segundo round ali, acabei indo pra cima com tudo, a vontade de sair na mão. Acabei jogando sozinho, não tava conectado com o meu time. Então essa responsabilidade é toda minha dessa derrota. De uma coisa vocês têm razão. Fomos três Fight Nerds que perdeu em seguida. Então os 3 devem estar cometendo erros parecidos. Então, com certeza vamos fazer uma reunião, eu, Caio, Ruff, e achar isso e melhorar. Quem gosta ou não, sinto muito, mas a gente vai voltar.
Diego Lopes also revealed that in round 2, he purposely allowed Gene Silva to come forward and land so he could bait him into overextending. He revealed that the spinning elbow was something he and his team had drilled beforehand, and it played out exactly as planned.
No, bro, trust me. For you knock me out, it's like it's so hard. I feel your punch is like it's not too hard for the people watching the TV, you know? Because for this, okay, this guy punched me. I take him for the confidence for this guy for the front. After this guy go to advance, I'm go to for elbow. It's like this is my plan. I have videos in the backstage, bro.
So that was the strategy this whole time, was to lure John Silva into thinking that he was connecting with you, and then you were going to throw the spinning elbow.
Yeah, because this guy, after connect one punch, this guy have confidence for to go for finish. I have now time for finish, but it's not with me. I know the people no have idea this, but every time Dion is so exposed you punch. This guy is standing a lot your arms, because this guy is the chin up. You know, it's like I use this time for the spin elbow.
So he was overextending his punches.
Yeah, every time.
Diego Lopes clarified that while there was no longer any animosity with Gene Silva after their fight, he had no interest in forming a friendship. He said Silva could live on his own life while he focused on his own path.
You said at the start of the week, listen, if you don't like me, then I don't like you. But now that you've got the win, is there any animosity on your side?
No, bro. This guy for your side, I will go to my side. I know once it's like he be friendly with him or. Não, simplesmente eu não quero ser amigo dele. Tipo, eu tô bem do meu lado, ele falou muito que não gostava de mim, então, tipo, ele já falou que não quer ser meu amigo, então, ele pro lado dele, eu pro meu lado, não sei nenhum problema.
What he said is this, I don't have animosity towards him, but he said many times that he doesn't want to be my friend, he doesn't like me to my core.
so he can go to his side, live his life, and I'll go to my side, live my life. I don't have any animosity. I just don't want to be his friend either.
On the other hand, Henry Cejudo even called Diego Lopes versus Gene Silva the fight of the year and declared Lopes as the real deal in the featherweight division. Henry Cejudo said, "Fight of the year. If you disagree, you're wrong. Diego Lopes is that guy." Daniel Cormier reacted to Diego Lopes' incredible win over Gene Silva, calling it one of the best performances of his career. He noted that Lopes faced an undefeated opponent who expected to dominate but instead was taken down and controlled in a way Silva had never experienced before in the UFC. Daniel Cormier said, "Diego Lopes, man, that dude had just what may have been his greatest performance ever. He was in there with a younger guy, someone who had never tasted defeat and believed he was just going to outclass him, but that was not the case. Diego went out there, did his thing early, got a takedown and controlled John Silva, something we haven't seen Silva deal with in his UFC career." Daniel Cormier also commented on the cut Gene Silva suffered, calling it one of the worst he had seen in years. He pointed out how the damage and follow-up shots led to Diego Lopes finishing an undefeated opponent who had never faced such adversity in the UFC. Cormier added that Lopes proved he was on another level and reminded that the Volkanovski fight should not be used to judge him. Daniel Cormier added, "It was one of the most gnarly cuts I've seen in a long time. The blood pouring out of his head was unbelievable." After the follow-up shots, Diego Lopes got the finish over John Lord Silva, and not only did he beat Silva, but he beat an undefeated guy who had never faced adversity in the UFC. Diego Lopes is the real deal. We always knew he was good, but tonight showed he's on a different level than most fighters. We shouldn't take too much from the Volkanovski fight. Alexander Volkanovski also reacted to Diego Lopes versus Gene Silva by addressing the hype around Silva. He reminded that he had already proven he could beat the so-called new generation of fighters and noted that Lopes was doing now the same by taking them out.
So again, nothing but respect to all of them. A lot of people are saying John Silva is going to be a massive threat. Obviously, he's got that KO power, but you can see, yeah, I'll leave it at that. But everyone's always like, oh, I don't know about this fight, I don't know about that fight. Pico, John Silva, all these guys are going to be your big, the new coming Evolution fighters, blah, blah, blah. I showed you I can take out these new Evolution fighters. Diego's one of them. He's taken out all these new Evolution fighters. So, I'll leave it at that.
Meanwhile, Michael Bisping said John Silva was close to knocking out Diego Lopes, but became too aggressive while moving forward. Lopes capitalized with a spinning elbow that dropped Silva and opened a cut. He then followed up with a ground and pound until the referee stopped the fight.
John Silva was on the verge of knocking out Diego Lopes, but as John Silva was going forward, much like Aaron Pico at the last UFC 319, much like Aaron Pico in the co-main event of the last pay-per-view versus Lerone Murphy, he got a little too overzealous, too aggressive, walks forward, and Diego Lopes spins, lands a perfectly timed spinning elbow, cuts him open, drops him down, gets on top of him, and just rains away punch after punch after punch until, of course, we know what happens. The referee steps in and stops the fight.
Michael Bisping said Diego Lopes won emphatically, though some might argue it was stopped a bit early. He noted John Silva was frustrated after the loss, since beating Lopes could have pushed him into title contention. After the stoppage, Lopes exchanged words with Silva's corner, which Silva didn't like. Silva then threw a jab that landed on Lopes' head. An unsportsmanlike act Bisping compared to Paul Daly's infamous punch on Josh Koscheck. He added that while it was regrettable, major consequences from the commission were unlikely.
When the fight finished, the fight didn't really finish because Diego Lopes, of course, was an emphatic winner, okay? Maybe you could make the argument it was a slight early stoppage. John Silva wasn't happy, of course. Lord John Silva's been doing big things and wanted to fight for the belt. If he'd have got through Diego Lopes, maybe he would have just jumped ahead of Lerone Murphy, potentially, because it would have been a huge win off Diego Lopes. But when the fight stopped, Diego Lopes is chatting some to the corner of John Silva. I don't know if he was talking crap, I don't know if he was being respectful, but he was chatting away. John Silva didn't like it. He jumps up, gets to his feet, boom, throws a jab. There wasn't much on it, but it was a little bit of a punch to the back of the head of Diego Lopes. Now, of course, very, very unsportsmanlike conduct. Reminds me of the time Paul Daly did it to Josh Koscheck back in the day. I don't think there's going to be too much of an uproar about this. I don't think there's going to be any suspensions or anything like that. But of course, that's down to the Athletic Commission. There's no need for it. It was an unbelievable fight. Yes, it was regrettable. He shouldn't have done that, but he just got the kicked out of him. Okay.
Michael Bisping reflected on the Fighting Nerds' recent setbacks, noting their losses in Paris and again with Gene Silva against Diego Lopes. He reminded that the team had built an impressive record fight beforehand and emphasized they were only losing to elite competition. Bisping said there was no shame in falling short at the highest level, as these experiences provide lessons to come back stronger and more prepared.
The Fighting Nerds now, last week in Paris, they lost the main and the co-main event, and they lost tonight. But as I said a moment ago, they're only losing to the absolute best. Remember, the Fighting Nerds, I think their record before last weekend in Paris was something like 22-1, something like that. I haven't looked it up. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's a very, very impressive record. When Benoit Saint-Denis beat Maurizio Hufi and Nimavov beat Kyle Bohaya, that was them fighting at the highest level, and they lost the fights. There's no shame in that. And of course, tonight, Jean Silva loses to Diego Lopes. I don't think they need to hang their head in shame. They don't need to go away and rewrite the script, okay? It's just the fighting at the highest level. You fight the best guys on the planet, and sometimes you can't always get it done, but you learn from your mistakes. You come back stronger, better, wiser, ultimately with more experience, and hopefully you right the ship.
Israel Adesanya reacted to Diego Lopez's spinning elbow TKO over Jean Silva with amazement, praising the creativity and style shown in the finish. He acknowledged Lopez's skills and recognized him as a rising featherweight talent with a bright future.
Every time. Boy, this barrage. Just a barrage. Oh, what the Oh! Yo, he got him. It's over. It's over. Holy shit. On the cheek too. Whoa. Ah. Yeah. Fuck, that's bad.
Robert Whittaker compared John Silva's style to Conor McGregor's, pointing out the heavy lead leg as a key similarity. He noted Silva's early focus on attacking that leg to control distance, but highlighted how Diego Lopes capitalized with a spinning back kick that led to dominant ground control. Whittaker said the fight showed how dangerous modern mount positions have become, with Lopes using relentless elbows that completely changed the dynamic.
It is uncanny how John Silva's style is so closely kind of looks like Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities there, and one of them being a very heavy lead leg. So I think him attacking that early lead leg was a great way to try and keep some distance, or create some sort of obstacles from John doing what he wants, capitalizing off that spinning back kick, go straight to the ground, controlling it. It opened my eyes. This fight opened my eyes in that if you get mounted, you can no longer grab and just hold on, because those heaven to hell elbows Diego Lopes was dropping. Dude, that's a game changer for the mount position in MMA.
Robert Whittaker added that the performance completely changed how he viewed the mount position in MMA. He explained that while mount had always been considered dominant, in practice it was often difficult to hold against explosive fighters and sometimes less secure than half guard or full guard. However, Lopez's heaven to hell elbow made the position devastating, leaving Silva with no safety or escape once they landed.
It blew my mind when I saw it tonight. This fight opened my eyes to it, and yeah, it is a game changer. You're no longer safe there. There's no safe positions in mount, and because mount notoriously, it's a great position. Everyone will agree with that. But in MMA, it's not always the best position to get. Okay, because you open yourself up to a lot of other things. It's a hard position to hold against a guy that's sweaty, moves a lot. Everyone's explosive. Everyone's aggressive. So normally you'd take a safer position like half guard, full guard perhaps, you know what I mean? And also mount is notoriously harder to get than those positions. But those heaven to hell elbows just really made it uncomfortable for Silva to stay there.
Robert Whittaker reflected on the final exchange, noting that Silva's willingness to trade in the pocket played into Lopez's strengths. He explained that Silva wanted a firefight and push forward without creating distance, which allowed Lopez to land clean shots. Whittaker gave credit to Silva for his toughness, but admitted he was left wondering whose chin would have held up longer if the brawl had continued.
Silva, he's an animal himself. He was very willing to jump into the kitchen and just slug it out with Lopez, okay? And Lopez is like the worst dude to do that with. He's such a dog in that pocket. And I could see that when Silva was getting I wouldn't say ahead of himself. He wasn't creating that distance. He was getting very, his blood was up. He wanted to get in. He wanted that firefight. He wanted that toe-to-toe. Lopes was landing shots. Okay. Props to Silva's chin and head, because he took some shots as well. Like, let's not pretend he didn't.
Yeah.
So, but I was wondering, like, if the fight continues down this lane, which head's gonna give up first, right?
Diego Lopes also stunned Adon Ross and his friends when he landed a spinning elbow on Gene Silva as Silva stepped in with a jab. The streamers group called it the wildest fight they had ever witnessed.
The exact fight we were
Show, chat, he might be
crazy technique.
Oh my god, yo, he's like Taporia, bro.
Hi, put your bitch ass on, my nigga.
Oh my god.
Oh! Get sleepy, go! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on,
That was crazy. That was so crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Joe. Bro, he elbowed the shit. Joe, that was the craziest fight I've ever seen. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Stephen Thompson praised Diego Lopes' spinning elbow finish, saying it was perfectly executed. He also noted how Lopes absorbed heavy shots from Silva without breaking, calling it an incredible display of toughness and a standout performance. Stephen Thompson said, "That spin elbow was on point, and I'm convinced that Diego is one of the hardest skulls in the UFC. Silva was landing some bombs, but Diego stayed strong. Amazing performance." Patricio Pitbull also praised the fight between Diego Lopes and Gene Silva, crediting Lopes' patience as the key factor. He congratulated both fighters and encouraged Silva to stay positive despite the loss. Patricio Pitbull said, "Amazing fight. Both Diego and Gene fought really well, but Diego's patience was the difference maker. Congratulations to both, and Gene, keep your head held high." On the other hand, Diego Lopes explained why he went straight to Gene Silva's corner after the fight, saying it was because one of Silva's coaches had been talking trash about him online. Lopes clarified it wasn't Pablo, whom he respects, but another coach who had been leaving negative comments in every post. He added that while it's one thing for fighters to talk, he didn't think it was right for a coach to do so.
What did you say to his corner at the end of the fight?
One guy in specifically corner is like every post my in the another page, this guy comment is like, comment a little bit shit. It's like, man things, bro, man things, but I don't like this, it's like, I feel it's so bad because, bro, you coach, for why you stay commentator in the social media, It's the training partner, it's the fight, it's okay, but the coach commentator is like different things in the social media, I think it's no good, It's like, my coach no make this, I think my coach is so respectful for another coaches too, but the coach tries like beef is like, I think it's no good for you image,
So it was one coach specifically that was talking.
One coach specifically. This is no problem with Pablo, Pablo is a good guy, but it's the one guy specifically,
Diego Lopes also revealed that he gave the middle finger to a member of Gene Silva's corner who had been trash-talking him online during the walkout. He then explains the coach's comments pushed him to respond, so he fired back after the win.
You finished with their corner, and then you ran to the other side of the octagon, and you were giving somebody the middle finger over there. Who was that?
Yeah, because this is like your training partner and a couple teammates him, I think. I mistake. This guy they put Vaseline in my face. This guy he started to ask, "Oh, you died today. This guy kill you. This guy knock you out. Blah blah blah." This guy talk another shit, But now I show my fingers for this guy. This guy, oh no, you is like, como se é muito folgado.
You're just taking the time, you're enjoying the time, but you shouldn't be doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this guy like talk shit, but this guy don't like it's like listen shit,
Saying that if you can dish, you should be able to take it.
Yeah.
I dished a lot.
Okay.
I dished a lot. I took it. I wait for my time, and now it's for my time to dish, and he's gonna need to take it.
And that, my friends, wraps up Diego Lopes' incredible victory over Gene Silva at UFC Noche, a fight that will be remembered for its wild exchanges and highlight reel finish. What do you think about Lopes' performance, and where do you see him going next in the featherweight division? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more MMA updates.